How are we going today, minasan? My name is Rakunx and welcome back to another Bayonetta 3 video. Did the trailer actually confirm that there will be multiple Cerezas? And note that I'm saying Cerezas and not Bayonettas, and that our Bayonetta and this Cerezita will be meeting. I'll be explaining why the multiverse is happening, Rodin's role in Bayonetta 3, and the true meaning of the logo thanks to some amazing commenters. Go ahead and cue the Bayonetta into the BAYO-VERSE, Bayonetta in the multiverse of chaos memes, because this is about to get real. I had an amazing reaction from the previous analysis video, and don't worry, I'm reading all of your comments. I'm going to be uploading every day breaking down the absolute core of this Bayonetta 3 trailer, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss your daily dose of Bayonetta 3 content. There is also around 5 frames of the title logo glitching into RGB into 3 Bayonetta titles, both figuratively and literally saying 3 Bayonettas. Of course, it could just be a cool effect, but with the amount of effects that they put in, I really think this was deliberate in order to hint out that there will be 3 different Cerezas. A year ago, we spoke about our Bayonetta jumping timelines to eventually save the little one who is now grown up. I absolutely love this shonen scene, so if you haven't seen it, here it is. But then the silhouette clears up to reveal Bayonetta.
Mummy, didn't I tell you, little one? There is nothing you cannot overcome.
Well, we might just be getting something similar to that. I am positive this is how they are going to introduce our Bayonetta because of how iconic that would be. It's a shonen cliche of saving someone at the last minute, but I don't care in the slightest. I know you all would go crazy, absolutely crazy at something like that. So make sure to watch out for another trailer if that happens, since this is just the first look at Bayonetta 3. But that really means there might be another Bayonetta 3 design for the one we know and love. So maybe those leaks in 2018 could still hold some weight. So calling it right now, our Bayonetta would definitely come back with a new design to either save this Cereza or even vice versa. Personally, I'd want our Bayonetta to be the savior because that really establishes who the mother is. She was essentially the mother of the brave Cereza that we raised in the first game, so it'd be such a nostalgic callback. Going back to the trailer and logo reveal, the repetition of the Umbran symbols most definitely means multiple universes, as well as the illusion of the parallel lines symbolizing parallel timelines. This is also a huge callback to our timeline video that showcased my interpretation of the events of the Bayonetta franchise, and people did call me crazy that I said there will be over 3 Cerezas meeting: the witch with no memories Cereza, the witch with memories Cerezita, and the witch with miseries Cereza. Anyways, it's highly unlikely that it'll be these Cerezas, but I gotta point out, even Hideki Kamiya said that the Records of Time was a parallel universe. We know that the second Armageddon has arrived and that the Trinity of realities have merged into one, but I have a feeling that it wasn't just the worlds of Inferno, Paradiso, and Chaos that have joined, but also eventually the timelines. Again, the blue in the symbol mixed with the pink signifies that Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 3 are separate timelines that are eventually going to fuse. They could have just put the purple theme on the logo, but no, they chose to make it very distinct so that there is some sort of multiverse that is happening in the Bayonetta lore. What's happening in the trailer I really believe to be the second timeline that branched off when Bayonetta returned brave Cerezita to her original point in time. I stated that in our 3rd episode of Bayonetta 3 Theories that even the purple light that was emitting from the window was a hint that this was the event that was directly correlated to Bayonetta 3. And guess what? I feel we are 90% right if the things do play out in the multiverse theory. Now, why would they need to meet? Remember how I said literally the world of the second timeline has gone to shit, and I do believe that the events happening in the trailer is brave Cerezita's continuation. So what would be the reason for them meeting other than how cool and shonen it'd be? Here is the answer. I think the key to this is both the MILFs, the mysterious life forms, and the floating islands. These beings appear to be the souls that we need to exorcise out of this world. Shout out to my Jujutsu Kaisen fans. So I feel these beings only came into existence in the second timeline, because we gotta remember angels and demons are basically no threat to anyone anymore, and that in Bayonetta 1 we found out that it's possible that humans can either turn into demons or angels depending on how they were in life or their allegiance. Just to expand upon in that first video, those souls of people that have died cannot go anywhere due to the second Armageddon combining the worlds. So where do they end up? Possibly, probably, and most likely they remain right here on Earth. I'd like to think that someone is behind the scenes essentially play-dohing these souls into weapons of mass destruction. Or seduction. But let's reverse things a little bit. How did the second Armageddon occur, and why is it happening in the second timeline? Well, in the first timeline, let's say nothingness really did erase the eyes of the world. So basically this timeline is safe. Angels and demons still exist here, and the MILFs don't. You know, that abbreviation is actually quite growing on me. In the second timeline, my guess is that someone, probably Lopter of this timeline, was successful in bringing the eyes of the world back and recombine the Trinity of realities. Just to touch up on that thought of the main sacred timeline being the unharmed timeline, timeline. That's because nothingness was successful in erasing the eyes of the world. So I have a feeling that sometime in the next game, we are literally going to continue off from where we left off in Bayonetta 2 at the end. Remember that picture you get at the end of the second game? A few days or maybe even right after, there will be a cutscene of possibly Rodin telling our Bayonetta that he feels some sort of presence in the balance of reality. Rodin was warning Bayonetta of some sort of carnage in the first two games, so it could be some sort of foreshadowing that he knows that Bayonetta is some sort of Nexus being. Shout out to all my WandaVision and Marvel fans. Basically, he knows that she is someone who is of a possible disturbance in the universe, or at least their universe. I just wanted to add in, Rodin wasn't even fazed by an A-tier level threat at the end of Bayonetta 2, so I have a feeling he knows Bayonetta has the potential to be a much more higher threat than A-tier. So he's basically like Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, the strongest one, as stated by PlatinumGames for all you haters out there, who keeps tabs on beings that have the ability to disrupt the multiverse. It's even possible that our Rodin could be going after our Bayonetta's soul in order to maintain balance for the whole universe after the first two games. So get hyped, because I have a feeling that our Rodin and Bayonetta will finally have some sort of canon. Note that I say canon because I don't really count the platinum tickets as canon to the story, and even if it was, I'm sure no one pure platinum him on the first try blindly playing Bayonetta, so Rodin versus Bayonetta could be a possibility at this point, because Father Rodin was actually meant to be part of Bayonetta 1's story but was added in as a secret boss due to time constraints. So putting his full potential into the story, maybe even as a new form, as a canon thing in Bayonetta 3 could happen. I cannot wait to see that cinematic of them two fighting it out. So yeah, of course the two would fight it out, but ultimately would stop as I believe our Bayonetta will sense some sort of calling from that second timeline. She'd hear the little one's voice. And I'm going to be so excited when she realizes it's the little one she raised from all those years ago. So just to clarify, the world of Bayonetta 2 is fine. The story arc ends there. Bayonetta 3 will be a continuation in a sense that our Bayonetta will be jumping timelines to save the brave Cerezita's timeline. I have also received DMs and comments saying that the brave Cerezita's voice is a little demonic, and that many believe that brave Cerezita is indeed partially possessed. That actually relates back to our Lilith theory in the 50th episode, that the little one's body will be possessed by Lilith, eventually coining the name the First Memories. Of course, in reality, I don't think she is going to be possessed by Lilith, but ultimately that would end up in a full circle, an epic finale where it's going to be our Bayonetta versus possessed brave Cerezita. I don't know about you guys, but that would be so freaking awesome and just absolutely emotional. Like, we are definitely going to be that meme of Wesley Snipes. So some of you mentioned that 3 goddesses of NEOPAGANISM reference that will entail the Mother, the Maiden, and the Crone. Krelian, David, Jack, and Muhammad, y'all are the real MVP of this segment. This was one of my favorite fan theories as it really links back to my 3 Cerezas theory. This just made me think that that theory is a little bit more possible, so mad props to you guys. What I got from them is that possibly towards the end of Bayonetta 3, we are obviously going to solve the problem of the world going to shit, but there is going to be a need for new rulers to oversee the newly separated domains of Inferno, Paradiso, and Chaos. Who better yet than to be our main Bayonetta, brave Cerezita, and the Records of Time, Cereza. Jubelius and Shiba are said to have the same body type and resemblance as Bayonetta, something that we proved in our previous video, how hard was Bayonetta's punch. So maybe it's some sort of full circle plot, or heck, if you want to even go crazier than that, what if Jubelius, Shiba, and Omni were the Cerezas of the future, where the timeline of the whole Bayonetta lore is revealed to be a complete and utter loop. Again, a really huge stretch, but it's worth putting it out there. Here are some honorable mentions by Jack and Muhammad that I believe were useful. The symbol is also heavily linked with Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft and the moon in the Greek pantheon. Hecate is also often depicted with having 3 heads. Symbolism or items that are also typically associated with Hecate are keys, crossroads, and hounds, which is interesting given the dog seen at the beginning of the trailer and the paw print on the sword of the mysterious figure at the end of the trailer. Muhammad said representing the triple goddesses, also more traditionally associated with Hecate, the goddess of witches, angels, gateways, and other things. Hecate has also been depicted with 3 faces, one facing past, present, and future. Sound familiar? These were the ones that popped out to me in terms of the logo symbolism, and remember, I am reading all your comments on YouTube, so if you have an idea about the game, it might be featured in the next video, no matter how weird it may be. Remember, just like the Owl House, us weirdos have to stick together. I will be talking about revealing the swordsman in the next video, hopefully tomorrow, so if you do not want to miss that, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss it. Also, I have over 80 Bayonetta 3 theories that I hope you can watch, so let me know in the comments of one of those videos what I got wrong and right. Stay safe, everyone. I'm Rakunx, and never get disheartened.